Welcome back to Late Night. We're here with Billie Eilish, and I do want to ask about SNL, but congratulations on your Oscar nomination.
Oh my gosh!
For your Bond song.
I
And
know.
even being asked to do a James Bond song, it's such a unique thing. There's no
Yeah.
other kind of theme song where, you know, through the years,
Yeah.
it's all these iconic musicians have taken it on. What was that process like? When you got asked to do it, like, who did you have to meet with in the writing?
Well, we made the song in October of 2019. So
Okay.
this is a long, long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's a long time. That
It's
was
a
a
long
movie.
time
That was a
ago.
movie that got. Oh,
So
yeah.
17 when we made it. I'm now 20.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. Yeah, it was a like very long kind of strategic process. It wasn't like you got the job. Here it is. We were auditioning pretty much. So it was not like an ego thing. It was like really, it's got to be perfect. We've got to do it right. They weren't like, oh yeah, we want Billie Eilish. It was like, we want you, and we auditioned and kind of just like did our best and worked really hard. And it was a lot of like Barbara, and she kind of gave us the first little bit of the script, like just like the opening, just so that we had a little like taste of.
Was that helpful in the writing of the song?
It was literally what wrote the song.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was great.
And you got to meet with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Were you nervous when you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Yeah, he's James Bond.
James Bond.
And
He's a dilf.
he is a dope. Thank you for saying it. I found when I say it, it's weird. But I
don't think so.
I want you to know that I am in full agreement with you.
You should be.
But I didn't say it, I just agreed.
Those
with it.
eyes?
Yeah. I mean,
Girl.
those eyes are crazy. Look, let me just say something. You have beautiful blue eyes. I have beautiful blue eyes.
You do. You
But
absolutely do.
we can't even be in the same
No,
room with that
no,
man's
no,
eyes.
No.
These
when I-
look like
no.
These look like pink eye
They're-
compared to him.
You would not believe them. Like
Yeah.
they look crazy.
They're crazy.
When I met him, I was like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
They're like, it feels like they're here on him.
Yeah.
Like, this is his face and these are his eyes.
Exactly. Like if you weren't psyched about it, you'd say your eyes are in my personal space.
Yeah, you would.
The first time he looked at me, I went, DILF! Couldn't stop myself.
You should get on that.
I don't know.
Explore.
I don't know. I do feel like it would be weird if my wife said, you get one hall pass, and I was like, Daniel Craig.
I don't think it would be weird. I think you should do it.
Thank you.
Do you have a hall pass?
No.
Daniel Craig.
What? Yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna have to go talk to her about it. You did a wonderful. You and Phineas are gonna go to the Oscars together.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular you're most excited about the night? Will you be nervous the whole
Oh my
night?
God,
being
it's the
nominated?
scariest thing.
Yeah.
I went to the Oscars in 2020 right before COVID happened, and it was like the coolest, scariest thing I've never been more nervous in my life. SNL and the Oscars are like the scariest thing I've ever experienced. And because it's not people that I know really, it's actors, and also actors are so much more eloquent than musicians. Like musicians are like weird and gross and smelly, and actors are like on time and very, I don't know. So it was intimidating. So I'm very nervous.
If it goes anywhere as well as your SNL, you have nothing to worry about. This was a lot of things I love. This is my personal favorite. You and Kate did this sketch together.
Yeah.
And this is a very good still photo because you never fully broke, but it did seem like that was Kate's goal.
Yeah, we had trouble with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the dress rehearsal, I was tearing up. I was dying laughing, and I felt like I was going to explode.
Yeah.
It was really, honestly, genuinely painful. Like, you know when you're not supposed to laugh and you have to laugh?
And
it
there
hurts.
was
It
no,
genuinely
also
hurts.
watching it and knowing the show, there was no release point. You guys were on camera the whole time.
I know.
There wasn't a time
No,
where it
there-
cut away where you could like
I
put
know.
yourself back together. So
I know. And she just was doing so many things
Yeah.
that were pushing me over the edge. Oh my God, it was infuriating. I
And
loved it.
your brother had a fantastic cameo in the
Yeah,
sketch
he
as well.
did. Yeah.
Now, was he?
Yeah,
Is
did.
he a hard sell on that when they asked him to do it, or was he immediately like, I'm in?
Oh, he was in. For
Yeah.
sure.
He was
It's
great.
SNL. You didn't
Exactly.
You want a cameo? You get a cameo.
I want to finish by asking, tell everybody what this is. They seem to know. They seem to know.
So this is my fragrance.
All
it's
right.
called Eilish, and it's just it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does speak for itself.
It is here.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And now I heard that historically your connection to the world of fragrance, of
Yeah.
perfume, this was something you shared with your father.
Yes.
And how were you introduced? Did he take you to the fanciest perfume shop in the land?
Macy's? No, yeah, he took me to Macy's. Fragrance and honestly just like scent besides actual fragrances has been like my biggest, like one of the biggest parts of my life, if that even makes sense. I have what I used to call a super sniffer. You guys watch Psych when you were little? Because I love that show.
I
And-
watched it when I was little.
I want to know.
You ever watch Welcome Back, Kotter? No. Yeah, I thought.
No, but I've always had a severe connection to scent, and I remember everything through scents and people and colors and all this crazy stuff. And I, like, before I even had any sort of a career or the idea of a career, fragrance was like the most important thing in my life, and it still to this day has been. And I honestly am like using this like facade that I've created of Billie Eilish to promote a fragrance. Like I'm using my own clout.
Well, I think everything you're using your clout for is making things better, not worse. And thank you so much for being here. It was just
I'm
a
so
delight.
honored.
You guys, that's Billie Eilish.